My dear audience, did you ever think or imagine that there might be a superpower that exists? Or that superpower is very challenging yet simple? Or maybe is that superpower very valuable and important? The answer to all of these questions is yes, yes, and yes. There is a superpower that exists. It's valuable yet challenging. However, to simply put it at that, you can guess that what I'm talking about is the superpower of persuasion. Persuasion and conviction are an art itself because not many people tend to know how to practice or exercise convincing others, and you need to know that sometimes, in order to negotiate or compromise to reach your goals or your targets, you need to know how to convince thoroughly and change the way people think. And why is it a superpower? I mean, think about it. You're alternating how someone thinks. You're alternating the current of their mind. You're alternating their emotions, their feelings towards any object or towards any idea. And that itself is very powerful and very strong to even muster up to do it. So that's why, my dear audience, I want you to buckle your seatbelts and be ready for this fun, exciting ride to how you will convince and how you will master the art of persuasion.
Before persuading someone, you will often need to acknowledge their concerns. Providing space and time to the opposite person to speak and share their thoughts will eventually make them feel valued and contributed to building trust. It will also help you acknowledge their motivations, which in turn will help you form effective persuasive arguments. Communication is the concept of interaction between people and their environments. Different beliefs influence humans with the help of communication. Communication tends to change attitudes and the way of how others think. Communication also plays a key role in everyday way of living. Knowledge can be imparted through communication. It transfers information from a place, a person, or a group to another.
Now we've came to a very interesting and intriguing point: persuasion and emotional intellect. You're thinking now, what does persuasion has to do with emotional intelligence? Well, I will tell you something. Persuasion is the emotional intelligence of how you are convincing people. Now, why is it important, and why do you need to have an emotional intellect to be able to convince someone in any idea or any thought? I will tell you about this notion. Emotional intelligence, this skill involves noticing and observing and interpreting your listeners' emotions and feelings. Now, it is learned, or it is a learned skill that allows you to understand and comprehend what others are feeling and respond appropriately. In order to do that, you need to observe people's emotions, what they're feeling, their expressions, what they're saying, in order to appropriately answer and convince these people. Because every certain demographic will be different, they will be distinct, and every certain situation will be distinct as well, and every certain timing will be distinct. So you need to sync the timing, the situation, and people's emotions and thoughts into whatever you're trying to persuade them with. So when used for persuasion, it also helps you tailor your persuasive methods to suit a particular situation or a person. Basically, you need to maintain the propriety of how can I convince someone at the right timing, and this is what we call the emotional intelligence of persuasion.
Communicative listening. Active listening. This is another learned persuasive skill. Listening well involves being attentive and respectful in your conversation with others. Before you can persuade someone, you will often need to know and understand their concerns or arguments. Giving the other person time to speak and share their thoughts will make them feel valued and can contribute to building trust. It will also allow you to understand their motivations, which in turn will help you form more effective persuasive arguments.
The integrity of persuasion. Interpersonal skills. Part of being persuasive is being genuine, natural, and at least a little charismatic. People are more likely to agree with someone they like, so improving your interpersonal relationships is one of the best ways to become more skilled in persuasion.
Persuasion and confidence. It's paramount to be firm and confident when presenting your thoughts and beliefs. A regular person will hesitate if he saw the convict timid and unstable, unlike if you presented your thoughts with a robust composure and attitude. This might not come as a surprise, given that people naturally equate confidence with knowledge. However, this method fails when someone appears to be very confident without actually being correct. It also implies that oversimplified explanations of complicated problems such as climate change and future economic behavior may find more supporters than the nuanced perspective of a true expert who accurately identifies several possible outcomes. Is this to say that we should all become obnoxiously confident in our thoughts and never concede that other points of view may be valid? Obviously not. But it does mean that if we want to close sales, get projects approved, and achieve other goals that require persuasion, we must use persuasion.
Respectful persuasion. You may not be able to reach your target, but with common decency, you must present and convince with utmost respect, no matter how strongly opposing your idea was towards your audience.
Now we've came to our last and final important question. Why did we choose this topic particularly? Now, to simply put it as that, we just want to advocate and advance people's performance quality and how will you enhance your situations in your coming stages of life, because honey, convincing and persuading people isn't just something so embellished and very, what we can say, banal. It's actually very important and challenging to even master as so. You will need it in your field of work, you will need it in your relationships, you will need it in your, even between yourself and anything, because convincing is truly a challenging part in able to change what you're thinking and what others are thinking. That's why we really hope you are convinced, or actually we believe that you're convinced with whatever we presented today. And do not worry, as long as you practice and exercise your conviction and persuasion skills, you'll be able to master it as the artist of persuasion. You need to promise us one thing, that you will take whatever we're saying into matters and consider it thoroughly. Thank you all, and may God bless you and have a beautiful life.